Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of the Mission Matters Business Podcast, your source for all things business. My name is Adam Torres. You can follow me on Instagram at AskAdamTorres. Keep up with my book releases, book tour schedule, signings, all that other good stuff. Always love to connect with you there. And as always, if you'd like to apply to become a co-author of one of my upcoming books, just head on over to the website, missionmatters.com, and click on Become an Author to apply. All right, so I have Drew Hawkins on the line. He's Director of Digital Marketing over at Womble Bond Dickinson. Drew, welcome to the show.
Yeah, thanks, Adam. Glad to be here. Glad I got a couple minutes.
So excited to get into today's topic, speaking of that. So balancing work and being a dad with toddlers during this work-from-home period of time that we're all going through. And I want to get into that, but before we do, tell us a little bit more about what you're doing over at Womble Bond Dickinson, please.
Sure. So I started at Womble Bond Dickinson about 6 or 7 months ago, and we are a transatlantic law firm with offices all over the U.S. and the U.K., and my role there is really overseeing anything digital marketing related, everything from our internal intranet, social media, paid amplification, website. If it touches the internet, basically, I probably have some sort of purview or involvement in it. So there's a lot going on, especially with the pandemic right now. Being a larger law firm, there's obviously a lot of questions clients have right now. So the pace has not slowed down at all whatsoever. If anything, it has picked up quite a bit in the last couple of weeks.
Wow. So let's, I think that's a good transition. So WFH, I mean, where do you want to start with this? Let's start with, are we going to get some guest appearances from the Toddlers in the background? I'm not scared.
Fortunately, no. I intentionally scheduled this time during their naps to try to avoid some interference.
Awesome.
Yesterday I was on a Zoom call with one of our vendors and took it outside, and so I was on Zoom on my mobile app. And then both my kids simultaneously, they're 18 months old and 3, and they walked up to me, both bit me on the leg at the same time. And I was like, ow, what the heck? And my 3-year-old said, Daddy, we're dinosaurs. I was like, okay, I guess that's our thing now. We're dinosaurs, and we bite Daddy on calls. So but that's kind of like a normal thing. So now I'm trying to get all my power work done in little chunks of the day, and anything I can get done while they're awake is just kind of bonus work at this point.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what are some of the tips that you would have for some of the other people out there that are kind of transitioning to this work from home environment on organization? Because I know that there's a lot of moving pieces. If somebody's not used to it, I mean, it can be a real challenge.
Yeah. So I think just working from home has been okay. The challenge has been working from home with both kids. And so my wife and I both have very similar roles. She works in marketing too, for an FS company here in Atlanta. And so the night before, we sit down with each other's schedules and say, okay, what time do you have calls? When do I have calls? When can we tag in and out? So we'll keep the kids on one floor of the house playing, and then the other one of us will go to another room or go hide in a closet or something like that, to where it kind of minimizes that interference. And then sometimes we have calls at the same time. And so we'll say, okay, which one am I presenting on, and which one am I more of just an active listener on, to where I can kind of just make sure the kids don't kill themselves, but still participate. So we just kind of have to make judgment calls on that. And then if we're on, one thing we've done, our schedule has gotten very, very rigid. We get up at 5 o'clock in the morning and just crank out work until 6:30, 7 o'clock when our 3-year-old gets up. So it gives us 2 hours of complete, quiet, uninterrupted time. Our 3-year-old daughter, she'll come up in the room to come get us, and one of us, we take turns running. So we think part of that, this time being quarantined, is, getting active, staying outside, and kind of for your own mental health, in addition to your physical health, just getting away for a minute and working out all the stress of the day. So we alternate mornings for that. And then if one of us is on, one thing I've learned the hard way is to really be all in with the kids, be present with them. I noticed, if I'm on my phone trying to mitigate some work from my phone while they're playing, they may be like, Daddy, I need this. Or, my 18-month-old son is very much the poster child of annoying little brother to his sister. And so if he's pestering her or bothering her or getting in her face, I have to break that up. But if I'm trying to break that up to complete a thought in a work-related email or an IM or anything like that, you know, I get frustrated with myself. I might get more frustrated with the kids than I normally would. And one thing my wife and I both talked about is, you know, they're not going to remember this, but they will remember how mommy and daddy were at home. So we try to kind of keep that in the back of our mind. So if I'm off, I'm off. I'm with the kids. And then, you know, that comes at a cost where, you know, we have to get up and work 2 hours super early in the morning. Then when we put our daughter down at night, we got about an hour, hour and a half of catch-up time of deep work. Okay, we've got an hour, 90 minutes of uninterrupted time. And as a result of that, I think the productivity level has been much higher because I know I've only got this concentrated amount of time to do something, and if I don't get it done, it's not going to happen. So that focus level has gone through the roof, but mostly out of necessity. I mean, we really didn't have a choice in the matter. We have some friends of ours that are like, how are you guys doing this? And on top of all this, my wife and I, we're selling our house right now. So we have to, every once in a while.
Oh my gosh. So you are not busy. No,
we have to keep the house clean enough for showings, which is challenging enough with the children running around. And then on a dime, we've got to clean up and get out. So yesterday I was presenting a website overview for something we're doing with COVID-19. And I was driving around with my daughter. My wife had our son in her car driving around, knowing that he has a higher propensity to scream. And so, but she wasn't on a call. So she took him. I took our daughter, and we passed each other in the road, and I was presenting a website.
This is awesome.
From my AirPods, completely from memory. Didn't have a laptop out or anything like that. Just walking through everything and just hoping I didn't miss something with some of the senior partners at our firm. So you get creative, you do what you have to, and when friends and family have told us, we don't see how you guys are doing it, our response is, we don't have a choice. This is the way life is right now. We're here. You know, daycares are closed. You can love your kids and still miss daycare. And, so that's the way life has been. And it's not going to let up anytime soon, it looks like. So we just kind of have to hunker down and get used to the new normal.
Man, I love this, Drew. Well, I'll tell you one thing. You guys are mastering efficiency, and my hat goes off to you and your wife for the amazing job you're doing. And this is like tag team. I know she's looking at it right now like, hey, you're only booked for 20 minutes. You got 4 more minutes. Don't worry, Drew. We got you covered here. We stay on time. So just wanted to say, hey, thank you again for coming on the show. And I'll tell you one thing, your kids are going to remember this because now you have this recording to show them to document it. So they will remember. You put that in the scrapbook from them on Facebook in 10 years. Oh, man. Well, Drew, again, thank you for coming on the show today. It's been a pleasure and great catching up with you. And to the audience, as always, thank you for tuning in. Hope you got a lot of value out of this. If you did, don't forget to subscribe to the podcast, leave me a review on the Apple iTunes Store, and if you're watching this on our YouTube channel, Mission Matters Business, definitely give us a subscribe there, but also leave us some comments on the video. Love to hear what kind of things you're working on and what's going on in your life. And Drew, thanks again for coming on the show.